Hey guys, so as you probably know from my Twitter, my blog, anything online, and especially if you know me personally, I have been accepted onto the Cultural Representative Programme over in Disney World, Florida, working at the UK Pavilion in Epcot for 16 months, from May this year till September 2016. Now, one thing I found whilst trying to look for advice online about the application process and things like that is there is barely anything about one particular aspect of the programme, which is the Historical Research Centre. It's a concession within the UK Pavilion, and there's only about 9 people that work there a year, from what I can work out. But there's literally nothing online, so I thought, being that's the part I'm doing, I'll take the opportunity to kind of tell you guys about it and the application process for that specific aspect of the programme. So the Historical Research Centre, if you've been to Disney, it's in the UK Pavilion still, and it's attached to like the normal merchandise shops, but it is a shop that you go and look up your surname, you put your nationality in, and it will tell you like, the meaning of your surname, where it comes from, where it originates. You can then look at your crest of arms for your family, and then you can get it printed on like a postcard, poster, a plaque, loads of different things like that. So it's in Disney still, and it's still in the UK Pavilion, but it's a concession within that area of the park as well. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about the pre-screen that I did, purely because it was a normal pre-screen where people were going down to London to meet the Yummy Job guys, to have the normal group interview questions. I didn't apply for HRC part of the programme. It was simply asked within the interviews whether we would be interested. As far as I know, there was about 4 of us that said yes to it. After doing a history degree, and it was something I'd looked at anyway, but it wasn't available online when I was applying, I immediately said yes, because it's another way to get into Disney, quite simply. So you go to your normal pre-screen in London, and then you wait. And you wait and you wait and wait, and then eventually you'll either get, no, sorry, we're not going to go further with your application, or great, we liked you, would you like to come back down for London for a face-to-face interview with the actual Disney guys from Disney World in Florida. So I went down there, we had like a big presentation like on what Disney life is like living over there, what you'll be expected to do, the different aspects of the programme, which also didn't really cover the Historical Research Centre side of things. It was all more to do with food and beverage or merchandise, and the accommodation and things like that. So in the face-to-face interview I had Sue, who, if you've been for the interviews before or read quite a bit, you've probably heard quite a bit about her. She's one of the main people that go every time to the face-to-face interviews. She's always sort of like the most sort of best with knowledge and things if you've got any questions for her. But yeah, I had her for my face-to-face. So the questions I was asked were why I want to do the HRC, the Historical Research Centre, specific programme. So I explained obviously the history of the degree. I've always enjoyed it. It's not just I wasn't just applying for it on a whim because as an extra route. It's something I've always had passion for, and I love doing my degree. She also asked like customer experience questions, which you'd probably get for any of the interviews as well. So how you've dealt with an awkward customer, how you know you've given someone a great day within retail or hospitality, something like that. She asked me questions about how I found the ICP, which is the summer programme. I think it's now called the Summer Experience Programme, something like that. It's different now. I did that in 2013, so she asked me quite a few questions to do with that, like how I found it, what was my favourite things, what did I least like about it. And then they ask you just sort of general questions to do the programme, like how you cope with being away from home for such a long period of time, how you cope with long hours, pay, what you're most looking forward to about the programme, just sort of general questions like that. Although everyone's nervous for the interviews, it's one of the most relaxed interviews ever. Sue's nice. I can't remember the other 2 guys' names that were there because they kind of change each time, I think. But Sue's did my interview as well for like the summer programme a few years ago, so she's one of the sort of head people in terms of doing international interviews and things like that for the programmes. Now after that you will be told that you'll either receive an email saying you've got it, it's a maybe, or no. Now for the HRC aspect, you've also got another step where you'll be invited for a Skype interview with Sue, and also, if I've got her name right, it's Beverly, who is like who would be your manager in the Historical Research Centre at Epcot. So I waited. My second interview was obviously in like March time, as most of them are. I waited, and then on my birthday, which would have been 24th of April, I actually got invited back for the Skype interview. So I set up time and day, I think it was early May, maybe mid-May, and sat down on Skype. It's not a video one, it's just a voice telephone interview with Sue and Beverly. This interview is a bit more specific to the actual Historical Research Centre programme. So you get asked again why you want to do HRC and like what experience you've got. So for myself, for example, I still did my history degree. I still find aspects of history fascinating. I still look into it as hobbies. Other people have had teaching experiences for history. Other people have done research on their family history with friends, family, things like that. So it really just depends, but you've got to show some kind of passion for that specific programme, because it's not just working in retail or in the food and beverage sector. Another aspect of the programme is you've got to have experience in sales and targets. You're going to have them whilst you're there. I'm not too sure what you do for merchandise as the normal programme, but you have targets that you have to hit, and you get like reviews and things every quarter, I think she said, to sort of improve where you're selling. She also speaks about aspects of the job, so how it's different and compares to the other merchandise positions that are there. She explains that you can do 12 months or 15 months. So they ask you that there and then, whether you'd be happy going for 15 months. I of course said yes, it's not for everyone, you don't get marked down if you say no, or if you just want to do it for the year, it's just a question they ask. She also explained wages, because it's a concession within Disney, although you're working for Disney, you don't get the same wages, so you get slightly higher wages, which is great, but when you're living on the Disney accommodations like Vista Way, Chatham, Patterson or the Commons, you have to pay a slightly higher rent. I haven't been able to find anywhere online about how much the exact prices are, but I've been told from Yummy Jobs that it's between $30 and $40 more per week. So we are a little bit more, but you are entitled to pay rises, I think, every quarter when you get reviewed. Not always, but it's not as strict as the Disney programme pay is, so they can have a bit more freedom with it. Explain that there's a small group of people, so you're working between 6 to 9 people for that whole period. So I suppose the Skype interview is her kind of assessing you and judging you whether you'd fit in with the team maybe. But yeah, and things like that. So had my interview, ended, and then did a lot more waiting and waiting. There were 3 of us that went for HRC in the end. All 3 of us got it. Now I don't mean to say that if you go for HRC, because less people apply for it, you're guaranteed to get it, but everyone that applied for it that I know of did get it. So Laura went out in January, she was the first of us to go. I'm going out in May, and then my other friend is going out in November. So it's been more staggered. Luckily I have found other people that are starting the same day as me, so there's a couple of girls from the UK, 2 of which I'm flying with. I'm not sure about the 3rd one yet. But we also have like a group chat going on WhatsApp with, I think it's about 15 other people from Mexico, Spain, there's an Indian guy, there's a couple of people from Africa, South Africa, France. So it's honestly, you're not going to be alone if you're going for HRC. I'd never ever sort of try and put anyone off, because it's a smaller group. You're still going to meet people, like, I can't wait. I've met a few people like via Facebook and stuff already, so don't think that whatsoever. So I hope that has helped clarify to some of you what the Historical Research Centre is within the Disney Cultural Representative Programme for the UK applicants. So if you do get offered it at like the pre-screen interviews, or you see the applications are open for the Historical Research Centre part of the Disney Cultural Representative Programme, and you've got an interest for it, chat to me. I don't mind talking to you about it, especially as I'm going out there in a few months. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I don't know everything, obviously I'm not there yet, but definitely consider it if it's something you've got an interest in. So I hope this helped, and good luck on your application process.